we'll go ahead and get started. First, let me do a quick introduction, and thank everyone for joining us today. And we'll be recording this for future use. It's been hard to decide now with the world kind of opening back up if a lunchtime event is better with people working from home, or if now they're more back in the office. So quick kind of a run through on a little overview on what we're going to cover. And I'll introduce myself. But welcome to Davis Homes and Sherwin-Williams Design Trend presentation. Sherwin-Williams is recognized as the leader in paint for, I'll let Lee and Dan talk about how many years ago Sherwin-Williams started, but certainly the most recognized name in the paint world. And with Davis Homes, we're started in the 1950s here in Indianapolis. We're in the third generation of Davis family ownership, and the largest on your lot builder in central Indiana, and also a community builder. But a big portion of our business is in, I'll call it, random subdivisions and rural, and a 50-mile radius of essentially Monument Circle. And then we've expanded a little bit east out I-70 to the Ohio border even. So expanding a little bit, but a little bit about Davis, and we'll talk a little more about us as we get through the process. But the main function today, the main purpose today, is to talk about design trends. So we'll do some introductions of the speakers. We have kind of a recent historical level of knowledge of typical questions that people have as they visit our design studio located at the Keystone of the Crossing area. Talk about interior and exterior paint and stain, and again, just some other merchandising, decorating, paint-related trends as we move through the process. My name is Jared Klein, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Davis Homes here out of Indianapolis. Been in the new construction, land development, model merchandising, marketing world for home building here for the last 32 years. I'm an active real estate broker as well. That just helps me keep in line and knowledgeable of what's going on in the general real estate market, which is real important. I'm on the board of directors for our local board, my board, and also on the board of directors for our Builders Association. Again, my goal with that level of involvement is to contribute to the industry, but also just to keep aware of what is going on. If you have questions during the process, please email info@davishomes.com. And if we don't get that question answered during today's presentation, we'll respond to you via email or phone if you leave us a phone number there to get you the information that you would like to have. So first, let me introduce Dan Kinnett with Sherwin-Williams and let him tell you a little bit about himself.
Thanks, Jared. Morning, everybody. My name's Dan Kinnett, and I'm excited to be with you all today. I am the local market representative for Davis Homes and assist with any and all things paint. As it says there, I've been with the company for 12 years, and I'm pretty fortunate enough to work with some great forward thinkers like Bridget and Jared. It's the best part of my job, people that are cutting edge and exciting and like to put on programs like this. It's definitely the best part of my job. So my role today will be to give you guys kind of a brief overview on the interior paint options for Davis and highlighting some of those key benefits, and just talk in depth a little bit about some of those great choices that Davis has to offer. So thanks again for having me today. Before I do get into it, I do want to turn it over to Lee Schmidt from our color program here in Indianapolis for a quick introduction.
Thanks, Dan and Jared. Lee Schmidt. I've been with Sherwin-Williams. I started in 2015 doing in-home color consultations. As of 2020, when the world changed, we moved to an all virtual format, and we are now doing those virtual consultations nationwide. So now, in addition to being able to talk and assist people with color selection in central Indiana, I'm talking to Alaska next week. So I'm kind of getting to get some input on what's going on, not only locally, but nationwide. So I'm looking forward to joining the discussion on what I'm seeing out there with color trends.
So kind of to jump in real quick here, give you guys a quick background on Sherwin-Williams. We were founded back in 1866. And really, in a nutshell, we are a leading global company engaged in the manufacture, distribution, and sale of coatings and related products in the commercial, industrial, and retail markets. So our slogan is "Cover the Earth," really, that's a better way of saying that we want to become the world leader in paint. In addition to this, we remain committed to providing quality products and service with an overall pursuit to excellence and to the achievement of the highest standards in the industry. So I want to get in to two products here. The first one being Sure Scrub, and then in a minute here we'll talk on Duration Home. And the Sure Scrub is Davis's standard interior wall option for new homeowners. And as stated in the name, what you'll find is that it stands up durably to everyday wear and tear. Foot traffic, burnish contact, impact related marks are all minimized within our Sure Scrub line. So on top of that, it's available in a wide range of colors and offers a flat finish, which provides exceptional hide and quality. So Sure Scrub is one of the best products we've came out with. It's really what you get with the Sure Scrub is directly in the name as it states. So it's a scrubbable flat paint, which is very hard to find in the market. It touches up well for the homeowners, as you're getting out of the warranty phase and your home begins, to get 2 and 3 years down the line and you have some of that paint left over originally, you're going to find that it touches up well. So really keeps a great finish over time, and it's an outstanding selection that Davis has to offer. Next one here is our Duration Home, and that is the upgrade that Davis offers for homeowners kind of looking for an overall best-in-class performance. Stains and light grease wash away with soap and water, all while maintaining a uniform finish. Duration comes with a built-in antimicrobial agent to protect against mold growth as well. Offers exceptional moisture resistance and makes Duration ideal for kitchen and bathrooms and anywhere else you may experience a temperature or a water change, if you will. You'll find that coverage is premium level and that it's also paint and primer in one. Has a wide offering of sheens from flat, matte, satin, and semi-gloss, while also being available in all colors. That's one of the nice upgrades, you'll find with Davis as we get into the design trends here in a minute. There's just so many colors that Davis offers, which is really, really unique from a builder. And Duration is absolutely in line with that, because not only do you get a great quality and color selection, but you get the sheen offering as well as the protection. So it's absolutely one of our top of the line products. I have it in both my daughter's bedrooms, and anyone with children will tell you that they will put you to the test. Mine is held up very well. So that's kind of it for me in a nutshell, guys, on our two interiors. I want to thank you guys again for joining us, and I'm going to turn it over to Jared to touch on some of the exciting design trends that Davis has to offer.
There you go. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Lee. Interior design trends. The imagery you're going to see through these next few slides are from Davis Built Homes. So, if you see some pictures here again that you like, you have questions about whether that's the countertops, the cabinet styles, and so forth. Again, just light fixtures are a big one. Again, feel free to email us, and we'll get you any information that you would like to have. So one of our top selling designs, we have a model home of this that is a by appointment model, and you'll be able to see through some of these, and this one in particular, a really nice mixed use of, not just the paint colors, but of metals and the warm woods. And, the days of all having to match are in the past. That was kind of hard for some of us to accept. I would be included in that. And now I'm fully embraced. But a lot of different uses, again, from metal, the colors, cabinets, and we're seeing even on the countertops, different countertop, maybe even on the island, as opposed to the main body of the countertops along your wall units. And some big changes with the cabinets. The island's almost looking like a piece of furniture. So you'll see that as we proceed through. On the right side of this is very large walk-in showers. So again, on outside of just colors, some of the trends, the homes built 20 years ago that had big islands, those are small islands by today's standards, huge kitchen islands, big walk-in showers, as we are trying to show there on that right picture. But I'll let Lee talk about the colors in there, the wall colors and the shiplap and so forth.
On the walls, the Sherwin-Williams on the rocks is a really great slide to start out with. What we're seeing out there in the marketplace is people are wanting a lighter, brighter overall. And this is a really good application of that. It's got a higher light reflective value. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it does have a nice light reflective value. It's what I would call, what we generally characterize as a soft gray, meaning it's a neutral. The warm and cool undertones are minimized, so you don't have flashes of too much of that undertone coming out. So it's just a really good all over color. Then you can branch out, bring in other colors later. And as far as the shiplap on the fireplace and the trim in general, extra white, that's our purest, brightest, cleanest white with no additional tint added. So to get the maximum amount of contrast, and then you can't go wrong with extra white.
Thanks, Lee. And this is our Dorset model, which is located in out in Greenfield. Again, this one is by appointment only right now. And again, you can see, that what you can do with paint. We've got a real bright room there to the right. I'll use the bedroom as an example there. Yeah, we have a highlighted wall. We have a tray ceiling in that room. So we wanted to accent, and as people walked into that room, have their eyes kind of drawn up. And it really does a nice job with that. Again, you can see some of the metal differences and the fixture differences on the left side with the kitchen there. And again, more in the browns tones, and browns and grays go together now. Lee can comment on that. But again, to see this home or any of the other ones that you see throughout, just email us. We'll make arrangements for you to get into it and see it.
Yeah, the walls in this, the agreeable gray, very well named, very aptly named color that goes well with a lot of finishes. But in this case, it really complements the warmth of the cabinets and the flooring. So the agreeable gray is what we start calling a grayish, which is a beige and a little bit of gray. The overall effect is going to be gray, but it gives you that extra little bit of warmth, and it's a really good way to blend all those different warm tones in with and still have a gray. So we have those gray in the countertops, and it's going to complement both the cabinetry as well as the countertops. And then we're having some fun, right? We've got we've got this nice open concept, nice light bright color, and then in the bedroom having a little fun. And Riverway is a beautiful, deep, warm blue. So a lot of times people think blues are cold, and if I have a warm palette, I can't mix in a cool color. Riverway is a perfect example of a color that is deep and rich and has enough depth in it that you can mix it easily as a pop against the gray and still bring in some warmth, like in with the carpeting in this picture. So it's a really good, example of mixing the warm and the cool together.
Again, Bradbury floor plan, one of our most popular ranch designs, can be expanded anywhere from 2,200 to 2,400 plus with a bonus room. 2,500 basements are available as well. But these are actually not pictures from at least the one on the right, from our model home, but a different design again. So you can see the tray ceiling style there. Actually, the tray ceiling style there, accented with can lights in the corners. And again, the brown tone on the floor and the gray and some different light fixtures. Same with the left. We are seeing higher ceilings now, more windows than maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago, especially. Just brighter and more open is the trend.
Yeah, stamped concrete is a really good example of still staying in that neutral gray, meaning the warm undertones and the cool undertones balance each other out. They're both in there, but it also amps it up a little bit for someone that likes a little bit more contrast. So with the white molding, the fireplace, the tray ceiling, the tall ceilings, or the extra height in the ceiling, the windows, sometimes you feel like you want something a little bolder and something that is going to give you the warmth. And these rooms are a good example of really bringing the warmth.
Okay. Yeah, again, some different color here, tray ceilings, big walk-in showers. I think part of this is the little benefit that we provide at Davis Homes is that we will personalize or customize a plan, modify it to your specific wants and needs. So, we're a lot of builders out there, and we dominantly build in the $300,000 to $800,000 range. Our kind of, here's our floor plan. These are the changes we allow. A little bit, take it or leave it. We want to be able to give you that opportunity to personalize your home. If there's, a specific design to the shower, in this case, as an example, or in kitchens and different parts of the home, we'll do our best to design those areas for you where other builders in this price range may not be willing to do that. And I'll let Lee talk about the colors.
Slate tile, another one of those warm blues, right? It's got a little, not quite as deep a color as Riverway, which kind of, and a more truer blue. Riverway has a little bit more of that green hint of teal to it. But again, a really good example of being able to bring in some deeper color and some higher contrast into a suite style bedroom, whether master suite or even a Jack and Jill, or however the floor plan, allows, bringing that color into the bathroom, and it still allows that beautiful shower to pop. Because what we want to do with paint color is to show off those fabulous finishes and things that you have in the room, and slate tile is a good way to do that.
Thank you, Lee, and love these next couple pictures. These are, we were selected as the 2020 Centerpiece Home Builder, and these are from our 2020 Centerpiece Home. And just a wonderful mix of bright, but with the warm accents of the wood mantle on the fireplace, the wood beams in that area to the left of the picture on the right is kind of your breakfast, your eating area, and just a sensational feel. Hand painted tile. If you can look where the benches are on the kitchen island, those are hand painted tiles, and just stainless steel appliances, an open glass door into the pantry area. Again, all elements that we can provide for you when building a Davis home. Lee, again on the colors.
So Soji White, one of my absolute favorite off-whites. When somebody wants something that's warm, slightly creamy, but doesn't have too much of the yellow gold in it, there's a tiny bit in there. We can't get warm without having a little bit in there. But it tends to be more of an undertone of the grayish, maybe a wink of green. Again, you're looking at it, it's white, where we're talking about tiny undertones, but those are the things that kind of you can blend in with the other browns and grays again, and kind of lean into some of those blues and greens, which tend to be the popular accent colors right now. The pantry door in a link gray, it says link gray, it's a green. It's a green muted down into a, with a grayish tone. Gives you that little bit of color without it being bright and distracting. And again, that Soji White just leans right into that green really well. Woodshed is really popular right now, kind of for someone that doesn't want as much of the high contrast with some of the darker espresso, Jacobean, some of those darker stain colors. Woodshed hits that sweet spot really well, where you get the sharp crispness of the contrast, but you have a lot of warmth and a lot of flexibility to pull out some of those tones and all the variation in that floor. It's a really good example of a wood stain that plays well with others.
Right. Thanks, Lee. Before you move on, Bridget, if you could move back to that slide, thank you. If you just notice again on the picture on the left with the fireplace photo, and the beautiful a chandelier style fixture there. Again, different fixtures that we can provide through Davis. And on the left wall, just to point this out, some beautiful panel molding. So if you have a room that you really want to really add some class to it, that is really not expensive to do. So if you can see, we added crown molding in that room and throughout, but did just a simple panel molding on that left wall, just really draws your eyes to it. Sometimes when you have a big flat wall at some level, that is a great way to break it up and just really add some style. So I just wanted to point that out. This was a model home, our field view model in Park Creek out in Fortville, Indiana. And again, you can see some different design elements in there. We have really a wood tread staircase. It's wrought iron rails on the stairway. So we offer different styles of wood, different styles of the wrought iron, and really to kind of meet everyone, have some choice to meet people's different decorating desires. On the right side, you also see barn doors. We've seen this trend over the last 5 years, and sometimes you're limited on where you could actually put a barn door. But those are elements that we offer, or of course, after people move in, they can add those very easily, but add some really nice style and design. Again, some kind of different light fixtures. They're a little non-traditional, but really add some pizzazz to that room. Then again, Lee on the colors.
Dorian gray, soft, mid-tone, little muddy, still stays gray, not really a grayish, stays gray, but it has that warmth to it. And again, it kind of amps up a little bit of contrast being used with the extra white trim again. And then the pops of color, that's where you can have a little fun. That St. Bart's, another one of those deep warm blues that are very popular right now that Davis has embraced with these homes. And you can see how that St. Bart's pulls the color out of that artwork to the right of the fireplace. That's how bringing in just a pop of something smaller, like you love the color, but you really don't want the whole room in that color. Even if they had done it on the barn door or the lockers. I mean, it's that fun little unexpected surprise that adds a little something special when you're challenged by an open concept where accent walls are going to seem a little out of place. You can have those unexpected areas with a color like St. Bart's.
Okay. Different look here, and really want to point out some of the different colors in here. One is just the stained trim. We were kind of all stained trim up until about the mid 90s, and then really saw a shift to white. And I can't say that we've gone away from that white painted trim throughout for the majority of our homes, but we do see certain rooms, almost accent rooms, being done, or someone may want that one room in particular, as opposed to maybe the whole home, to have a stain package. So you see a little bit of that here. Again, a real warm feeling, a little darker colors, kept the ceiling white and bright, but then added the warmth of the wood beams, and overall some decorating here that came out of our pictures that came out of our 2019 centerpiece home. In addition to being the 2020 centerpiece home builder, we had also been selected for 2019. So some of these these photos are available at davishomes.com if you want to see more, but wanted to point those elements out as well.
Yeah, what a beautiful example of blending blues and greens together and creating contrast with that espresso. The espresso pops against that ceiling, when you want a bolder statement on that tray ceiling. The rich, warm browns of the floors and the furnishings are really balanced nicely by using a color like Mount Etna, which is a deep and very moody, very dark color. And then that little pop of fun wallpaper, just kind of tying that all together. Some people like light and bright in a bedroom, but this is a beautiful example for people that like something that's just a dark and cozy sort of space. So yeah, just a little more dramatic ways that you can use paint. We can be subtle, or like this where we can be much more dramatic.
Again, going to our 2020 centerpiece home, and this was in the master bedroom suite. Some elements here. Look at the ceiling. So we didn't do the now very popular tray ceiling in there, but again used a panel molding concept to break up that kind of typically big long flat ceiling in a larger room, and really did a nice job breaking that up again with a chandelier style light fixture. Linear fireplaces, you'll see that there, and that is a very good looking fireplace with shiplap above there, tile surround, and that is an electric fireplace. And people that came to that home show and went through this home were just amazed at how real they look today. We all could not have said that 20 years ago, but you can change the color, you have a remote with it. But again, just a real interesting and very popular look, all that bright with, again, some white colors in there, some browns and some grays mixed together. And on the left side, just showing, there's a walk-in closet in there. We're seeing that as well. People are even fancying up those closets with nicer light fixtures. Have a coffee bar, which we were all amazed at how popular that was during the show. The concept of only having to walk, 10 feet to your cup of coffee in the morning. And then, although we don't show it in this picture, again, a huge, just monstrous walk-in shower that we had there.
Yeah, back to Soji White. Like I said, it's a favorite of mine. You can pair so many things with it. And this is the kind of opposite example of another way to do those bedroom. If you want a light, brighter bedroom and you want your contrast taken down, that's where the stain on the Pine Ridge blends that green. It's kind of hard to see in the picture, but Escape Gray has a very subtle green undertone to it. So it comes out and it gave that little pop of some color. But here we're keeping everything low key. Everything is very muted. Pine Ridge is not as high contrast as the Espresso, has a little bit more of those leaning to the cedar tones that are so popular right now, and blending those blend with the greens and really show off that the fireplace tile. So again, just a really beautiful example of using the Soji White throughout the house and accenting and bringing out features in the room on the other finishes.
Exterior design trends is one of my personal favorite areas to talk about. We, again, at Davis Homes, personalize our exteriors. It's not just the floor plan elevations that we may show online. And if you're looking on our website, you'll see a wide variety of different styles, generally and greatly dictated by our buyers. So a couple examples on these two photos. The upper photo there, and again, you can see a mix of lateral and horizontal siding, some contrasting trim and siding combinations, a touch of metal over the garage. So there's just a slight kind of a roof area over that garage door, again, to offer some metals into this. And neo-traditional designs in general here, with the picture on the bottom, the garage is recessed back, gives a little more of a historical look. And in a location or a community maybe where you can't do a true alley access, it gives a little bit of that design style. The columns, we got craftsman style columns on the bottom. The gables on that bottom picture have what's referred to as wagon wheels in them. And again, even a water table of brick on there, just again to break up that front facade and add more style and design. The Bradbury design, again, one of our more popular plans, and a variety of exteriors. You'll see some of those as we go through, anywhere from this more craftsman look, modern farmhouse, modern prairie, traditional, again, lots of different exterior style designs. And here you can see the gable wagon wheels are stained. This particular customer, this was a customer home. We did the stone across the bottom, so kind of a stone water table area, and then the stained tapered columns on that front porch. And I'll let Lee talk about the colors.
Yeah, that Woodridge stain was a great way to marry the top of the house with the wagon wheels down to that water table of stone. That brings that color. That's a perfect way to kind of balance, when we're talking about exteriors, we're talking about the overall balance and where the weight of the house is. And that was a good way to bring the top all the way down to the bottom. Web gray is a beautiful deep gray with definite blue undertone to it. I mean, it depending on the light, it can have a lot of blue. And then that crisp high contrast of the extra white really makes the windows pop. That prairie style gridding on the windows, just overall very nice, warm and inviting exterior.
Here, kind of a modern farmhouse look. You can see the board and batten siding, no shutters for a cleaner look, black windows, and that's also a very recent but very popular trend. Again, the stained wagon wheels, simple front porch with the stained porch posts. We're seeing a little less use of rails and spindles across front porches, and generally a little more open feel.
Yeah, sometimes people are concerned that extra white might be too bright a white outside. And this, you can see it's just perfect. High contrast with the black in the windows, tricorn black for the front door. That's Sherwin-Williams blackest black. It's just, it's going to give you that sharp, clean, modern look. But then we warm it up with cider mill, which kind of leans into that cedar sort of warmth to it, but minimal. Like the extra white on the siding balances with the extra white on the trim. If we had tried to bring in and do a different sort of trim color on those gables, that would have, thrown off the whole balance of the house. So again, Davis did a beautiful job of just taking three colors and presenting a clean, modern farmhouse.
This Nantucket, also a customer-built home. Really, this customer was looking for some real pop between the siding and the trim detail. You can see that went with a thick, beefier, thicker trim around the windows. Really wanted to keep those porch posts white, but still wanted some accent with a lighter color. Again, kind of stone water table there. Again, just one of the many designs that we can offer, not just on the Nantucket, but on many of our other two-story design choices.
Yeah, Grays Harbor is a perfect color for a floor plan named Nantucket. It's got that sort of stormy seas sort of color. It's very complex color. There's blues and greens mixed in there. Depending on the time of day, you'll see a lot of that richness come out and change throughout the day, because as we all know, Mother Nature, it's going to change. We're going to have our lighting change throughout the day, and our lighting is going to change throughout the year. Grays Harbor is really good to kind of contrast and yet bring out those blue-green tones that are in that stone. Snowbound is another very popular white outside. Just gives you that really crisp, clean, high contrast, and then soften things a little bit with chestnut, right? Not doing a tricorn black or even a darker stain, just kind of softening things out a little bit and letting it pop on its own.
Again, our Carlton design, which falls into, again, that kind of neo-traditional style. Harder to see on this picture, but the garage is, again, recessed back a little bit. We've kind of capitalized on some, when you look at affordability of adding space. In this case, it was pretty affordable to add more living space over the garage area. Again, as I indicated earlier in the photo, some accenting with metal roofing, kind of a corbel look underneath that metal roofing over the garage door. Different style of garage door itself with the windows, and we're seeing that come back, that trend to windows in garage doors. And again, just a beautiful neo-traditional look with the thicker trim around the windows, no shutters, a mix of siding styles there with the board and batten style siding in the two gable areas, and recently, I'll say, the greens coming back as far as popularity.
Oh yes, I mean, blue has been having a heyday for a few years as people kind of looked around and thought, I can have blue. It's like, and that, but green has been steady And this is kind of a newer sort of green. I mean, we kind of think back on those sages that lean more olive color. And this is a gray green that leans into the blue. So you'll see some of those cooler tones. And the green is complementary to anything in the red, russet family. So while we're always trying not to, we're not going for red and green Christmas 24/7, but they really work well together. They neutralize the tones and harmonize together. And this is a perfect example of having that rich browns that have those reddish undertone in that water table as well as the roof. And this is a really pretty complement. And then of course, bringing it home with that high contrast of the extra white cannot go wrong.
Yeah, and again, our field view model out in Fortville, available by appointment only. So please reach out to us at info@davishomes.com. Give us a call, and we'll be happy to get you in to take a look. But I think part of it, I already talked a little bit about some of the design elements with this design. But what I really like on this is kind of the use of the brown with the blue. Again, it's just not all blue. There's a little more going on, but it comes together very nicely. And we're a home builder, and we rely on folks like at Sherwin-Williams and really that relationship with Lee and with Dan to help ensure that we are staying current with trends. We get great feedback from our buyers as they come through our design studio and work with our design experts and what they're looking for. They're bringing us photos of homes they've seen in magazines or online, and giving great examples of what they want to accomplish. That allows us to work with Sherwin-Williams, again, Lee and Dan, to help ensure that we're achieving that look in every way possible.
Yeah, this is a good example of using the two different colors to balance the design. So we've got the manor house at the peak and over the garage that again brings your eye down to the water table of the brick. So we've got the balance there, which allows that to kind of recede back, and then that front area just really pop out and stand out. Slate tile again, which as much as I love it as a fun color inside, it is really one of my favorites outside. It may not be obvious because they're not side by side, but when you get colors outside, they generally look a full shade lighter. Even on a cloudy day, they're going to look lighter and brighter than they do like on the wall inside. And so slate tile is just a real subtle way to get that blue and again, the crispness of the extra white. I mean, it's probably our most popular trim color because it provides that high contrast no matter where we are on the spectrum with the depth of color on the siding. But yeah, beautiful home.
And love this elevation. Maybe hard to see depending on if you're on an iPhone or if you're actually on a full-size computer screen. But some really interesting elements here, because we do have board and bat style shutters mixed again with some board and bat and siding. The combination, this is also very popular right now, but a combination of a stone water table with brick over the top of it, and mixing some different colors there, but bringing them together with what makes sense, and some browns and some grays. The tapered craftsman style columns, still a front porch. So, on our ranch style design, which is very nice. The wagon wheels and the gables, and we again went with the white on these to get a little pop as opposed to the stain to show something different. And from a design standpoint, just to point out a couple elements, this home can be seen by appointment, but it has a 2-car side load garage, and but then we did a carriage garage, and you see just a little clip of that on the left side there, which is really nice if you're trying to have that look of a side load, but you also want to have, maybe you have a boat or you have some kind of a trailer that you want to back in. For anyone that's ever done that, trying to back it into a side load garage adds some challenges, but if you can kind of back it more straight into that carriage garage, not only adds some style, but some functionality. This particular design, because it's a model home, we also wanted to kind of create a menu of choices that are available with this plan and others. And although we have a incredibly, almost a 2,300-ish square foot finished basement, which is huge under this home, that we added a bonus room over the garage area. So that window you see there is something we can do on design. Sometimes people are trying to decide, do they want to go with a basement, not a basement, but they want somewhere that's a finished space that's in a different area. A bonus room over a garage like that, or a bonus room over the center of the home structure itself, can be accomplished in a little more affordable way. And that particular bonus room, we can put bathrooms up there, make it a bedroom, make it an office, craft room, whatever somebody would really want to do with it. We have that flexibility on the design side.
This is a perfect example of using two of our newer colors together. I mean, we have colors that are 150 years old, right? So we have a few that have hung around that long. These are newer colors that came out in the last few years. Felted wool is a beautiful brownish gray with just a wink of green. So depending on the time of day, you'll see that green come out, which again balances with the brick really well. It sits coincidentally right between Soji white and our color of the year this year, Urbane bronze. So it's in that continuum of those really warm brown grays with the wink of green. And then Gossamer Veil, this is a really good example of where you don't have to do extra white as a bright white trim. That continues to be very popular and you can't go wrong. But here's a softer look. You still have high contrast. You still see all those, the wagon wheels, the columns really pop away from it, but we didn't have to go bright white. Gossamer Veil is actually kind of almost wants to be a grayish. It's a gray with a little brown in it, but against the field being darker, it still pops and looks really fresh and clean. So so thank you. You can always visit us at Sherwin-Williams.com. Hi, Dan. And our Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, thank you guys. Pleasure to be a part of it today. Thank you, Jared, very much.
Well, thank you to both of you. And again, if you have any questions, email us at newhome@davishomes.com. We will do our best to get those questions answered for you. We have a wonderful on your lot sales team and community sales team, and kind of that next step, if you're interested in exploring a plan and a price, or even having a free lot site evaluation done, again, reach out to us, whether that's in a community or more of a rural setting, and build in as I mentioned earlier, dominantly a 50-mile radius from Monument Circle. That's kind of our general area, or general donut as we call it. Our social media marketing director would not forgive me if I didn't point out to our Instagram information that's also showing on this slide. But again, call, email, let us know how we can be of assistance. We have an upcoming additional presentation with another one of our very valuable trade partners, which is Sims Lohman. And we'll talk about kitchens and bathrooms and countertops and those sorts of design trends with our partners at Sims Lohman, and hope you can join us on April 27th, April 27th, 11:30 a.m. to talk about, again, kitchens, baths, countertops, sinks, faucets, and all those fun elements of building a new home as well. So again, thank you for taking the time to join us today. It's a very interesting time in our real estate market here in Indianapolis and the surrounding area. One of the lowest, I think we're at 25-year low in existing home inventory. So that means that your ability to sell your current home quickly is probably better than it's ever been in most of our lifetimes. And interest rates as well at record lows. So again, reach out to us, let us know how we can help.